Welcome to the video lecture series on principles of compiler design. In today's video lecture, we'll be learning about the concept of language processes. So the notion of language processes has been emerged from translators. So in short, a language processor is nothing but a translator mechanism. It will be converting a high level language to a low level language. So we'll be stepping inside these language processes in an elaborate fashion today. Now, to talk about language processors are called as language translators. That means it converts a high level language, which is actually a human understandable form. Generally, we understand English form of language, and that will be converted to a low level language. Low level language is machine understandable form is called as low level language, and the low level language is highly pertaining to memory and memory allocation, deallocation, scheduling of algorithms, all these things is connected with the low level. Allocating of processor, and all these things are connected with low level. Now, the examples which are connected with high level languages are whatever the programming languages we use right now, called as C, C++, Java, Python, VB script, all these are called as high level languages. And machine level language, it's actually confined in a little bit of category, in small category. For example, machine language which is written in the combinations of zeros and ones, that is a binary language, and assembly language, the language which is written in mnemonics, are called as low level languages. Now, there are two types of language processes. The first one is compilers, which is most prominent, and the second one is interpreter. Interpreter has its dominance in Python language, and the third one is assembler. It is actually system specific programming can be done in assembler. For example, when you want to write device routines such as programming and washing machine, or programming and relay, or programming VCRs, televisions, all this can be done with the help of assembler. Now, this assembly level language is connected with writing device routines. Now, we'll be learning about all these things in one by one fashion. Now, what is a compiler? This is a schematic diagram of a compiler. It will take a high level language which is written in any form of programming language, might be C language. Then that is converted to a low level language. Low level language is here in this case we'll have assembly language is a low level. Now, compiler simply converts the high level language to low level language. So why it has to convert to low level language? Because machine can understand only low level language, not a high level language. So that is the reason why we deploy compiler whenever we program it in any programming language. When you go for laboratory, or when you just do in computers programming, we have to compile the program. The purpose of compiling is we are trying to convert the high level language to low level language, then only a machine can understand. So that is the reason for conversion here, and that is the role of compiler. Now, a compiler in general will scan a complete source program, which is actually written in any form of high level language, and then eventually that is converted to a low level language. And the low level language is also called as a machine language. Now, the entire program, compiler actually takes the entire program. Might be a program has 10 lines or 50 lines or 100 lines, whatever may be the number of lines, the entire source program will be taken in one shot, it will be converted to low level language. And at the end of compilation, we can see that after compiling, a new source code, a new program will be generated in the source path, and that is called as object program. Now, when we go for C programming and all, you can see that a name with the .obj extension will be there. .obj is called as object program. That's nothing but an intermediate version of high level language and low level language. And if error exists, that means if the program violates the syntax rules or semantic rules, every programming language has certain rules here. If that rules are getting violated, then error will be actually generated by a compiler, and it will be reported to the developer. And if errors are not there, automatically then object code will be created. So this object code is meant for generating a machine code at the end of compilation process. Now we'll go for the next one. The next one is interpreter. So there is a stark difference between interpreter and compiler. So the compiler will take the complete program and convert into a low level language or machine level language. But interpreter converts the program line by line. So Python is an interpreter specific language. It will actually reads the code line by line, and if the first line has an error, then it will not go to the subsequent line. It won't process the second line. It will convert the first line. When it is error free, then it will get converted. Then it will go for the next line. So it's how actually interpreter works. So it won't take the complete program into consideration. Line by line, it will convert the program. And it does not generate object code. The reason for that is the complete program will be generated into object code as far as compiler is concerned. But interpreter, since it is converting on a line by line fashion, it won't take or it won't generate an object code. And as far as error is concerned, it is similar to compiler. So if the language actually violates the rules of the language, the program violates the rules of the language, obviously it will generate an error. So interpreter also will be reporting an error. If error occurs in the first line, it won't go to the second line. Or if error occurs in any line, it won't go to the subsequent line. So it will stop over there. Once the corresponding source code is error free, then it will go for the next line. So this is how actually it goes, interpreter. And the third one we are seeing here is called as assembler. Now this assembler is not going to deal with high level language. It actually only deals with assembly level language. Now, what does assembler does here? It will take an assembly language program and then it will convert it into a machine code. Now, everyone will be speculating what is meant by assembly language. So, assembly language is nothing but it is a short form of instructions. Instructions won't be in a complete form. It will be in a short form. That means instructions are written in mnemonics. Now, assembler can be considered as the first level of interface between a human and a machine for communication. So it will take an intermediate code which is generated by any compiler, then it will finally translate that into machine code which is directly executed by the machine or processor. And assembly language programming, assembly language contains only instructions which is written in mnemonics. So when all these instructions are composed together for a specific processor or a specific computer system, then that is called as an instruction set. So that's about language processing. So thanks for watching a video. Have a good day.